The philosophy behind Newton's program is that macro markets in particular are generally efficient. However, inefficiencies do arise when those markets are confronted with either complex information that's difficult for the market as a whole to understand, or specifically when there's a surprise to the market that runs counter to the pre-existing investor sentiment of the participants in that market. And it's specifically that surprise and the market's reaction to the surprise that Newton fairly narrowly defines as the inefficiency that we try to exploit with our strategy. What we'll look for in terms of an ideal trade setup for us is when we begin to observe investor sentiment leaning more and more heavily in one direction. And then when that's the case, if a market is overly bullish or bearishly positioned in our minds, we'll begin to look for observed signals or surprises in the opposite direction. We feel what makes us unique is that we're singularly focused on exploiting these very narrow opportunities that arise after news events, and we've consistently applied the same strategy to these markets for the past 15 years. And so because of that, we've developed a great deal of expertise with our team to observe the market's reaction and continuous digestion or reaction to news events, and that's helped us evolve our strategy over time into understanding the fundamental shifts that have occurred in markets and how in new environments the markets will react differently. Before we place a trade, there's a discretionary consideration is given to whether the news surprise is both credible and consistent with other data points we've observed. And we feel that gives us an edge. It helps us avoid false signals and outlying information that ultimately doesn't produce the market move we expect. What we'd like to do next is stick to our core strategy, build our fund with other investors that understand what we're doing and are committed to it for the long term, and continue to grow Newton and improve our execution of the strategy and ultimately the returns we're able to deliver to our investors.